Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Infuse Your Future podcast. I'm Dr. C, and today I'm introducing Coach Carrie Cowell. Carrie is a certified Clarity Catalyst coach and nutrition and wellness coach. Today, we're going to be talking about the Clarity Catalyst program. Enjoy. Hey, Carrie, welcome to the Infuse Your Future podcast. How are you today?
I am wonderful. Thank you, Carla, for having me. I am growth and clarity coach, Carrie Cowell, and I teach an 8-week transformational course called the Clarity Catalyst.
That sounds amazing. How did you get into the Clarity Catalyst?
Oh, well, it was a yearning for me for many years. So how I got into it was just, I was seeing my own struggles and then everybody else's, just seeing them struggle, kind of saying, there's something missing. And then even that commercial where you put the fake smile on, it just, something in me said, you have to make a difference. And I didn't know what it was called. I didn't know what it looked like. But one day I heard about health and life coaching. And I was like, aha moment. Okay. All right. But it still didn't hit me until one day I literally did an exercise where you pretend to smell a sour lemon. Okay. You cut it open, you touch the juices with your tongue, and you literally start salivating. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. My thoughts were controlling my body. I was like, what else have I been doing for the last 42 years to myself? It was it. So, I was oblivious of this. And what my missing link was my mental well-being. So once I was open to working on it, I was offered the Clarity Catalyst through my employer. And it was a game changer. Yes. So they thought it was important to have the skills, just for burnout and how you talk to people in sales, no expectations and judgment. So it was my game changer. And then I read some very powerful books and followed a few people. But anyway, that started my 2-year journey that now in this moment, I'm actually coaching, doing my life purpose.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing. Do you care to share some of the powerful books that you were reading that helped you along in this transformation?
Absolutely. The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer.
I've read that one. That's good.
Oh, I probably bought like at least 20 of them and gave them as gifts. And then Power versus Force by David Hawkins. That's really good. So with those class, have you read that?
I haven't yet. I gotta check that one out.
Oh man, it's good. I've got it right here. This is what it looks like. See all my notes.
That looks like one of my books.
Okay. That must be a good one.
Highlighter, green highlighter, blue highlighter.
What's good is like a recipe book. You got to go to the recipes where all the crunchies are, and
love it.
It's good. So that, and I followed Joe Dispenza, and just all of these were the tools I used to they all kind of gave me that spark to pull me. I was able to heal myself and then realize what I could possibly do with it.
That's amazing. Two of the powerful books that I've read are Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. Oh my God, that's my favorite book right now. I'm on my second read with her audiobook. And I love her audiobook because when she's talking, when she's reading this book, it doesn't sound like she's reading. It sounds like she's just having a conversation with you. It's amazing. And then the obstacle.
What's it called? I'm going to write it down.
It's called Big Magic.
Big Magic. All right.
By Elizabeth Gilbert. And then the other one is The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan. Oh my gosh, it's escaping me right now. Ryan Holloway.
I know it's hard to remember it all. Okay.
Anyway, there's so many great books.
There is.
So what is the name of your company?
It's Growth and Clarity with Carrie.
Ah, all
Um,
right. So does this mean that you're a coach? Did you say you're a life and nutrition coach?
well, actually, so I'm certified in the Clarity Catalyst course, which is actually based on a Stanford University master's degree program in mindfulness and emotional intelligence. Plus, I have an associate's degree, and then I'm also a wellness and nutrition coach.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So it sounds like your passion right now is mainly with the Clarity Catalyst. Did you have any specific goals in mind when you decided to become certified in the Clarity Catalyst? And if so, have they
Yeah,
how and have they evolved over time and how?
okay, yeah, absolutely. So my goal was, when I was realizing my mental health was my missing link, my goal. And then, I'm realizing, oh, that's our struggle. That's when I realized this, I was like, oh, that's my calling. I knew it to help other people recognize what it was. So my first goal was to find the best tools to teach others, how to start living with joy, connect with others, be their best selves. And Clarity Catalyst was clearly the best choice. And I want to say, it has not been easy or comfortable.
Hmm.
But whenever I make a next step to get closer to where I am now, I would feel a spark, and it would make me feel and know, I'm doing something right. I'm doing the right thing. And, especially when it's in the unknown, but when you feel that little spark, you're like, all right, I'm propelling. I got this, because, I had to choose to spend my time and my money on this certification. And, I had that unknown of reaching out to make my first training class and ask people to join, or building my website, all new things for me. And number one, just believing in myself.
Oh yeah.
And,
Yeah, and for those of us that
and now,
don't, oh, sorry, were you finished? Did you have
oh,
some?
now I'm actually going to launch my business in January.
Oh, yay, congratulations. So yeah, for
So,
those of you who don't know either Carrie or myself, we actually met through the Catalyst certification training. I have to agree with you that it just is an amazing program. It lights a spark, just as you said. It just lights you up and helps you grow. So anybody that's ready to grow, got to sign up for the Clarity Catalyst. I mean, this is powerful, powerful stuff. So you're launching your business in
yes.
January. Um,
Yes.
and as you know, the name of my podcast is Infuse Your Future, because I was looking for something to kind of bring people together that are infusing their own future and infusing the future of other people. Um,
Yeah.
so this sounds like the perfect tool to help you. It sounds like it's infusing your life and helping you infuse the lives of others. So
Absolutely.
how are you and your business, and how is the Clarity Catalyst affecting your clients? How do you foresee it affecting your community, and your life itself, like your own life, your own?
Sure. Well, with it's a valuable course because you learn mindfulness tools and relaxation techniques. So it's designed to help you to reduce stress, improve your peak performance, enhance creativity, and promote mental well-being. Hello. Thank you. I need these tools. So, and then it also helps with things that might be bothering you. So, time and stress, work life and home life balance, career and life purpose, and even issues of money and self worth. Um, I was thinking, whenever you said, how's it affecting my clients and community, my first thought was finally society's opening the door. because I saw, it's been the last few months, a commercial. It was the news, and they were talking about the government and grants and mental health. And I'm like, oh, yes. And then I just saw a random commercial about just nothing major, and they mentioned the word mental health. I literally yelled outside out loud, boom, because I was like, yes, they're opening the door, because sometimes we just are expecting society to say what's okay to talk about or not. And it's just back to life, you know. Um, and even I loved it. I was watching The Voice the other night, and Camilla, she said that she had a mascot, and it was her dog, and it was and the dog was for mental and emotional support. And I just love that.
Yeah, dogs are great mental and emotional support. And you're right. I mean, I've also noticed that mental health is becoming so much more important. Uh, not more important. It's always been important, but it's become so much more acceptable to talk about, and I hope it becomes more and more acceptable to talk about. Um, I've heard that there's a shortage of therapists. Therapists are a super great support of
Yes.
mental health. Um,
Mm-hmm.
coaches coaches are another side of the mental health piece. Personally, I think the world would be a great place if every person had a great therapist and a great coach to work with, because they're both very, very important roles, and they they complement each other. Therapists and coaches complement each other, and they can be part of your team. And mental health is everything, everything. Um, you can have someone who's, at least in my opinion, you can have someone who's brilliant, but they have these mental health struggles, and so they're not successful. They can't take care of themselves. They can't take care of their families, um, and their life is
Mm-hmm.
tough. And you can have someone who maybe isn't the most talented or the most beautiful or the most connected or the wealthiest, and they have their self-care, their mental health spot on, and they got all the bases covered. Their finances are stable, their family life is stable. So yeah, mental health is great. I see Better Health on Facebook all the time. I'm seeing all their ads. Um, I don't have any personal experience with them, but that's one company that's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I personally have an art therapist right now, and I had an amazing talk therapist before her.
Oh,
So I definitely believe in
wow.
the power of mental health. They're great. And you don't have to be crazy to
And you
need
make
or have a therapist.
no, no, that's the great part, was when you realize you're like, oh, what's in between the ears. I mean, it's our emotions, our thoughts and perception. And I feel like the course really helps you to separate for a hot minute, to get your bearings, to think logically. What has I heard? Your feelings are not facts. I was like, oh, that's kind of a good thing
Oh,
to
yeah,
think about.
absolutely.
Our feelings are not the facts. But
And the reality is life
so
can be a bucking bronco. So, sometimes we need all the help we can get to stay in that saddle until the bucking bronco settles down. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. Oh my goodness, absolutely.
And
Uh,
totally unpredictable.
oh,
Go ahead, go ahead.
mhm. Oh, well, you were talking about putting the coaching and therapy together, and it made me remember that. So the course was developed in 1979 for business students at Stanford University, and it was brought out around 9/11 with a grant, and they offered it to 400 women that had lost their husbands in the 9/11 tragedy. So, and I love how they said, it was just an additional to their counseling, and it helped them in their next chapter of life. And I really like how, like you were saying, it's a great pair.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I could not believe the type of flow that I got when I first was a student of the Clarity Catalyst. It also happened to
Mm.
correspond to the time I started with my art therapist. And it also coincidentally happened to coincide with me starting a certification in trauma recovery coaching. And I have to say
Oh,
that the
wow.
blend of those three, I just
Mhm.
can't even tell you how powerful it was. Trauma recovery coaching can be pretty serious. I mean,
Um, yeah.
people that have had past trauma have really significant challenges that they face. And going through the Carity Catalyst as a student and then as uh, a person becoming trained to teach it,
Mm,
oh my goodness, I just can't even tell you how perfect it was to have those two
mhm.
together. And
That's
then
great.
taking the Clarity Catalyst coach and seeing an art therapist at the same time, it was just
Mm.
mind-blowingly powerful. Mind-blowingly powerful. And what all that
So,
means, oh, go ahead.
no, go. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
What all that means in the end, I have no idea. I just know that it was a powerful experience for me. And I'm looking forward to sharing all of the things that I've gotten from it with other people.
Mhm.
Because I mean, like you, I'm also going to be uh, starting a few more Clarity Catalysts groups in January. And I'm looking forward to kind of
Wonderful.
telling people about it between now and then. And I'm excited to see who signs up for it and accepts this challenge. And also, it's an investment in yourself, right? This is like one of the most powerful investments
Yes.
you can make to yourself. And like you said, it takes work.
Agree.
I mean, it takes work. This is a Stanford
Hmm.
level
Yes.
investment because it originated from Stanford. And
Hmm.
the woman who's helping organize it now, Jennifer, who's really, she is the woman behind Clarity Catalyst, right now. Jennifer
Hmm.
Grace, amazing,
Yes.
amazing human being, has brought this program literally to multiple countries, gotten it translated into multiple languages. I mean, I just can't even put into words how many people this has helped, um,
Mhm.
largely through her efforts. And of course, the efforts of the founders, Dr. Ray, and the rest of the team that originally brought this out. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's
it's
just powerful. But and it's work. I mean, but it's fun work. It's fun to work on,
yes.
and it's fun challenges. And you meet a group of
Yes.
people who are amazing, and you make amazing friends, amazing lifetime friends.
I agree. I
Do you
am
have anything
honored
to
to
add
be.
to that?
Oh, yeah. It's touted the most transformational program to come out of Stanford. That really says something. It's in schools. It's in, well, almost, I think someone's working with an NFL team. So, and the tools you learn from the course, they're just practical. I did this 2 years ago, and as I'm teaching it, I'm just blown away by all the many tools I implemented in my life and didn't even realize it. I sometimes I think, man, if I had this one out at an early age, I can imagine what my life would be like.
Oh my God.
And that is propelling me. And one of my next steps is to be certified in the kids and children's
Mhm.
course in January. So I'm really
Yeah, me
excited
too.
about
I don't
that.
think I'm gonna do it in January, but just like
Okay.
you, I would have loved to have this when I was a kid, especially, I mean, anytime when I was a kid, right?
Mhm.
Teenager, college, for me, medical school, these things would have been so
Mm.
powerful, and my life would have been so different in a positive way if I had had them earlier. But as it is,
Mhm.
life life goes along the way it goes along. And the important thing is we have it now. And I can't wait. I
Yes.
don't think I'm going to become certified in kids and teens until later next year. But I know there are people
Okay.
certified in kids and teens, and it sounds like you're going to get certified early next year. So that'll be quite an interesting quite an interesting journey. I can't wait to see it.
I'm, I'm super
So,
excited.
yeah. So I know right now you're a Clarity Catalyst coach. Is there anything else that you want to talk about that you do, that you help other people with, and that you want other people to find you so that you can help them
Well,
out?
yeah, well, I'd love to, anyone interested in the course or ask questions, sign up for my free workshops that I'll have. You can find me at growthandclaritywithcarrie.com. So that's what I'll be doing, is working on my workshops. I'll be uh, having some dates up to start in January, probably mid-January. And I know everyone will be excited about, we've all been, we know about nutrition, what we put in our body, but now that we're all wakening up to our mind and our mental health, let's say January, we start a new year and start working on it, add some tools, start
Now, if
reducing
there's
the stress.
if there's somebody out there right now who has a super burning desire and need to that can't wait till January, are you open and available to talking to them before that?
Oh, absolutely. On my website, Growth and Clarity with Carrie, just send me your email and I'll set up a call. We'll do a 20-minute life purpose exercise. We'll do something fun and we'll talk about, when we can get you started in the 8-week course. I love that.
That sounds great. And in the show notes, I'll put the contact links.
Can't,
I think you froze there for a second.
thank you.
In the
And
show
if you
notes,
can't, oh, okay, sorry about that. And I was going to say, I appreciate that. And I was going to say, and if you can't start and you don't have the resources to even do a workshop, one thing you can start, one of my favorite things is a color walk. And it just helps me separate myself for a hot minute from my obsessive thoughts of the day, my worries, my emotions. And what I do, you just go on a walk and you pick a color, perhaps yellow. And you just focus on that color. If you have a thought come in, you just acknowledge it, let it go. Hey, set an appointment with it for later, whatever. I do that all the time. And just focus on that color. And you'll see, if you've been on this walk several times, you'll notice things you've never seen before. And you're just like, oh my goodness, I've been oblivious. And change color if you want. And then, be creative. If you're driving, do a color drive. But just focus on the color, let the day slip away for a minute. That's a mindfulness tool.
okay, Carrie. So you are saying that if somebody wants to get a hold of you, they can email you at
growthandclaritywithcarrie.com.
great. And you can also get a hold of me at coachingwithdrc.com. I will put everything in the show notes. So basically what you're saying with Color Walk is that if people are ready to start infusing their future today, ready to start their personal growth journey or continue their personal growth journey today, right now, regardless of whether or not you have money, regardless of whether or not you have resources, Color Walk is one way to do it. What are other ways that people can start continuing on that path of self-growth, continuing to infuse their lives, the lives of the people in their environment right now, today, regardless of their personal situation? They can go on a color walk. Any other
Okay.
advice for them? How they can start infusing
The
today?
next time yes. The next time, this one gets me every time. Puts me in my face. Next time you judge someone, doesn't matter, little, big, I don't care what it is. After you're done, say, just like me.
Love
It
it.
will make you laugh. It'll make you remember 20 years ago, and you'll go, oh, yeah, I'm just going to give them a little word of advice or just give them a kind smile. But it will put you in your place. And eventually it just helps you start thinking positively, thinking good things for them, and for yourself. No judgment on yourself. But yes, if you judge, say just like me at the end.
So like you're saying, for example, if I'm driving down the freeway and somebody cuts me off, um, instead of flipping them off or cursing at them, or what do other people do? What other people do? Cursing,
Road rage.
whatever, road rage. Instead of doing all that, what you could do is say, "Oh God, you cut me off just like me sometimes. Sometimes I cut people off. Maybe you don't realize it, but sometimes you do accidentally." Or
Yes. Or,
somebody,
yeah, make
or somebody that you live with leaves a dirty dish out instead of putting it in the dishwasher. You know, instead of like demonizing them and saying they're the worst roommate from hell, you can say, "Ah, you left that dish out," just like I do sometimes. Sometimes I forget to put the dishes, clean the dishes, or put them in the dishwasher.
that's too real, Carla. And it takes time. You'll do it and then you'll say it. And then eventually it's so amazing how eventually you'll have trained your mind to just think differently. When someone cuts you off, you're like, oh gosh, just like me, they're probably maybe they have an emergency. Maybe they didn't notice me. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly,
Don't
right?
let it ruin your day.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's not personal. These things aren't personal, but a lot of us tend to think of them personally. But yeah, there are so many ways we can take steps today, just in the next minute. How we think, how we see others. There's so many resources online. One of the social media gets a bad rap these days, usually in the media. But the beauty of it is you can find so much information. You can find, if you have an eating disorder, you can find information on how to reverse it, how to get help. You can find blogs,
Wonderful.
articles, books, and a lot of it is free. I don't know about your website, but on my website, I have some free information, some blogs you can read for free. The library, you guys,
Oh,
library,
wow.
library, library. It is so full of information and it's free. All you have to do is go get a library card. And if you don't have a library card, just go sit in the library and read stuff there. You know, most libraries also have online stuff now where you can download audiobooks. So you don't even have to pay for this stuff,
Yes.
you guys. If the library is not close and you want to read a book, go to a local Barnes and Nobles or other bookstore and just kind of browse through. Sit down at their Starbucks or in one of their little chairs in the bookstore and read. Talk to friends. There's so many free resources out there, and it doesn't have to be complicated. And you don't have to change. You don't have to, change everything tomorrow. Just tiny little steps, right? When you agree, Carrie? Like
Oh, absolutely. That's the way.
you're not gonna climb a mountain in one step. You're not gonna climb it in 10 steps. It's little consistent steps every single day, as often as you can, towards growth. And some days, you're gonna slide down. So if we're going with the mountain analogy, right?
Yeah.
Say you're a really avid hiker and you want to hike up the mountain. It's one step at a time. Sometimes you might trip over a tree branch stuck in the path. Sometimes you might slip down a little gravelly section, but you get there. If you just keep walking, you get there. And if you decide you don't want to climb the mountain, you just turn around and go back down.
That's right.
Have no expectations. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace. So Carrie Cowell,
I'd like
any
to
any
mention,
any closing thoughts
oh,
or words?
oh, well, I'm just so honored to be here. And especially, your podcast is considering me as someone making a positive impact on the world. And, that's what I want to do. And I'm so glad that you're seeing that in me. And I appreciate that.
Well, I am also honored to have you on. I want to thank you for your time. Um, Hopefully you can be a guest again in the future at some point and let us know how your business is growing and evolving. And I think you're great. You have great energy, and I look forward to
I would
continuing
love to.
our journey together as friends.
That sounds wonderful. That is amazing. I can't wait. Thank you so much, Carla.
All
Peace
right.
and love to all.
Yep. Peace and love to all. Thanks for listening to today's episode. I hope it helps you on your journey to an enjoyable life. If you or someone you know would like to work with me to help develop healthier habits, contact me through my website at coachingwithdrc.com. That's drc.com. And we'll start a conversation. I absolutely love co-creating better futures with people who are motivated to build a better life for themselves. Finally, here's my call to action today. Take a 15-minute color walk, no phone, no interruptions. Just pick a color and go out and walk. When you get back, tell someone you know the most interesting thing you saw on your walk. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.